Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Beth and Rip's spinoff needs to avoid being Yellowstone Season 6, and just not because of potential legal problems. Taylor Sheridan must avoid making Beth and Rip's spinoff show into Yellowstone Season 6, not just because of the potential legal battle over the rights to stream the series. Mere days before the Yellowstone Season 5 finale, a report confirmed Beth and Rip's Yellowstone spinoff would continue the Lovebird stories after Yellowstone's ending. While Kelly Reilly and Cole Hauser keeping their Yellowstone characters alive was an exciting prospect, the announcement triggered the potential for legal battles between the companies that stream Yellowstone and its spin-off shows, since Beth and Rip's show would look a lot like Yellowstone Season 6. The legal battles will insist that Beth and Rip's Yellowstone spin-off distinguish itself from the flagship series, and we'll get into that next. Still, legal battles aside, Reilly and Hauser's characters deserve a show that distinguishes itself from the Kevin Costner-led series. While Beth's story indelibly connects to John Dutton II, Case, and all the other Yellowstone Season 5 characters, Beth and Rip's substantial Yellowstone backstories and enigmatic personalities have the chops to stand on their own, so Sheridan ought to give the characters a story that's independent of the Dutton family's struggles. The Deadline report that confirmed Beth and Rip's Yellowstone spinoff insinuated that it was favorable for Paramount Network's parent, Paramount Global, to produce a new series instead of Yellowstone Season 6 because an offshoot would bring the continuation of Yellowstone into the company's ecosystem. Paramount has a deal with Peacock's parent company, NBC Universal, giving Peacock exclusive streaming rights to the franchise's flagship. In other words, Peacock can stream Kevin Costner's series, but Paramount Plus can't. Therefore, continuing Beth and Rip's story outside the flagship allows Paramount Network and Paramount Plus to air and stream the show exclusively. A report from Puck claimed the choice to produce Rip and Beth's spinoff versus Yellowstone could trigger a legal battle with Peacock. As the Beth and Rip Yellowstone spinoff takes shape, it must distinguish itself from a potential Yellowstone Season 6 to avoid legal battles, proving that the spinoff was more than just a way to skirt the network's existing deal. The deal predates Paramount Plus, which has the rights to stream Sheridan's other series, such as prequels 1883 and 1923, and everything the screenwriter produces thereafter. Sheridan has a deal with Paramount Plus to create content for the platform until 2028. While the legal battle marks Yellowstone's Beth and Rip spinoff encountering its first big problem, it isn't bad news for the series. Other reasons exist that Hauser and Reilly's series should distinguish itself from the flagship rather than just becoming a continuation of Yellowstone, with them at the center instead of Costner. Beth and Rip have rich backstories in Yellowstone, potentially more than any other characters, including John Dutton. Flashbacks in the original series extensively paint Beth and Rip's adolescence, emboldening the characters' strong personalities in the present. The continuation of Beth and Rip's story deserves the same distinguished treatment. Furthermore, Beth and Rip's story must prove it warrants a continuation. While Beth and Rip's spin-off announcement cheapened the Yellowstone season finale, the couple had a sweet ending that neatly wrapped up their story. Sheridan could have just left Beth and Rip's story where it was, allowing fans to spin their own conclusions about how the couple would navigate the brutal winters in Dillon, Montana, with their adopted son Carter. In other words, Beth, Carter, and Rip's story didn't need to continue, but now that it will, the Dutton-Wheelers need a fresh narrative that honors the family's independent journey. There are significant ties between Beth and Rip's story and a potential Yellowstone Season 6. The Deadline report suggested that Beth and Rip's spinoff will include the Yellowstone moniker in the title and some of the flagship's main characters in the cast. With such blatant connections to the main show, the series must make decisive creative choices that distinguish Beth and Rip's story from the Montana Dynasty saga thus far. The flagship's ultimate episode set up Beth and Rip to differentiate themselves successfully, despite the Yellowstone finale ruling out an interesting Beth and Rip story in Texas. Despite staying in Montana, Beth and Rip's distance from the heirloom Yellowstone Dutton Ranch will give their story an entirely new backdrop. As Beth and Rip relinquished stewardship of the ranch, they will face altogether different hurdles. The spinoff should focus more on Beth and Rip's past and future, rather than continuing to hash the Dutton family's issues with their land legacy, which Yellowstone fleshed out as Beth and Rip are concerned. If the flagship continues with Yellowstone Season 6, Beth and Rip's story might be free of legal hurdles, but it should distinguish itself from Yellowstone regardless. When it was announced that Taylor Sheridan's Yellowstone universe might expand with a spin-off centered on fan-favorite couple Beth Dutton and Rip Wheeler, fans were understandably ecstatic. Their tumultuous love story, cemented by their fiery chemistry and heart-wrenching sacrifices, has been a cornerstone of Yellowstone's success. However, crafting a series that highlights Beth and Rip without turning it into a watered-down continuation of Yellowstone Season 6 presents a unique set of challenges. Here's why the spinoff must forge its own path, and not just to sidestep the legal quagmire surrounding Kevin Costner's departure and the Dutton family legacy's uncertain future. Breaking free from Yellowstone's shadow. One of the most pressing creative hurdles is ensuring that the spinoff doesn't feel like a rehash of Yellowstone. Beth and Rip's dynamic is deeply intertwined with the Dutton Ranch and John Dutton's overarching struggle to preserve his family's land. Detaching their story from the sprawling, multi-generational epic of Yellowstone means finding a fresh narrative focus. While Yellowstone often delves into themes of legacy, power struggles, and the cost of ambition, Beth and Rip's spinoff could explore more intimate storytelling. Their relationship, forged in adversity and marred by personal demons, lends itself to a character-driven drama that could shine in a quieter, more introspective setting. By stepping away from the political machinations and land disputes that dominate Yellowstone, the spinoff can carve out its own identity, exploring new settings and themes. A Beth and Rip spinoff offers the perfect opportunity to explore settings beyond the rugged landscapes of Montana. Whether they're building a life on a new ranch, navigating life in a small town, or even taking on challenges in an entirely different state, the possibilities are endless. Relocating them could serve as a metaphorical fresh start, mirroring their desire to escape the shadow of John Dutton and the relentless chaos of the Yellowstone Ranch. Themes of healing and redemption could take center stage. Beth, despite her fierce exterior, is a deeply scared individual grappling with unresolved trauma. Rip Her Rock has his own baggage and a history shaped by violence and loyalty. A spinoff could explore how they navigate these struggles together, presenting a nuanced portrayal of love, resilience, and personal growth. It could also delve into their attempts to create a legacy of their own, one not tied to the Dutton name. The risk of overemphasizing fan service. One of the potential pitfalls of a Beth and Rip-centric series is the temptation to lean too heavily on fan service. Yellowstone fans adore their fiery banter and intense chemistry, but a spinoff needs more than callbacks to iconic moments and explosive arguments to sustain a compelling narrative. While moments that honor their history are essential, they must be balanced with new character development and storylines that challenge them in unexpected ways. For instance, introducing new supporting characters who test their relationship or bring out unexplored facets of their personalities could add depth. A community of ranchers, townsfolk, or even adversaries could create a rich tapestry of interactions, ensuring the series feels vibrant and alive, rather than a closed-off exploration of just two characters. Avoiding legal and continuity pitfalls. The behind-the-scenes legal drama surrounding Kevin Costner's exit and Yellowstone's future complicates matters. While the spinoff could sidestep these issues by focusing on Beth and Rip's post-Yellowstone life, it still needs to tread carefully to avoid contradicting established lore.